know there's more in you, but you cannot see it. There's a remedy, and I've got the strategy. It's time to turn your dreams into a reality. Push, and I'ma help you. Got the time to. And I'ma help you. 'Cause it's time to.
Welcome back again for another episode of Push Talk Podcast. My name is Ose Sesay. It has been a while since I've been on. I feel like I've had so many guests on my most recent episodes that I haven't got to just connect with you all, just myself, and share what's been going on. So first and foremost, for those who are new, please take a moment and subscribe. I don't know where you're listening, but please subscribe, and share with somebody that you feel it would be a blessing to be encouraged and pushed towards their purpose, because this podcast is all about pushing you towards your purpose in business, career, and beyond. So welcome again, welcome back to my other daily or weekly, I should say, listeners, because we try to produce this every Thursday. And for those who are new, I hope you enjoy it, and let me know. Shoot me a message. You can find me on all my social media networks at Push Strategist. So let's jump into our episode. This episode is about gratitude, the month of gratitude. If you follow me on social media, I've been trying to post daily, just things to be grateful for this month of Thanksgiving. And I wanted to just talk about gratitude and how that looks like in our life, how we can, walk that out daily. No matter what place we're in, there's always something to be grateful for. And it's not just a month of Thanksgiving. Honestly, it's something I try to think about all the time because there's so much going on, and sometimes life situations pop up and you're like, why me? Why am I dealing with this? What's going on? What did I do? Where did I go wrong? And it's not even necessarily about looking at it from that lens. It's just like, okay, what is this situation? How can there be something good that comes out of this? And if there's not, that I can see right now, how can I just be um in the place of peace that passes all understanding? Okay, so sometimes it just takes finding your peace within the middle of whatever the situation is, and eventually, as time progresses, you'll get to heal, get whole, and look at the situation and say, this is what I am at least thankful for, despite the challenge or whatever it is you're dealing with. So let's go into gratitude first. What is gratitude, right? So the definition for it is the quality of being thankful, the readiness to show appreciation for, and to return kindness. Huge, powerful definition, especially that piece, the readiness to show appreciation. I think sometimes we are so programmed to look at the glass half empty. Let me give you guys an example. Like when you get a call from your job, for those professionals who are on, or from a client, and you're like, hold up, what are they reaching out to me for? What did I do wrong? We always are programmed to look at the negative, like, oh my gosh, and not think, oh gosh, are they calling to give me a promotion? Are they calling to say I did a great job? Like, we always kind of go to the negative, and I think that's just life. Sometimes we've gone through things, and we've allowed those things to always feel like they can, it can't be a positive thought first, and we have to control that, because that's a big part of gratitude. You have the readiness to not only show appreciation and thankfulness, it's a mindset, because you can't be always ready to show appreciation, to be thankful, to be kind, if you're thinking the opposite of that. So I think gratitude is really important, and it's something that we should start to program ourselves to change our thinking so it can be positive. Um, I think also it's really important to think about gratitude because it is there's so much in life that you miss if you don't take a moment to just be grateful and thankful. So there's people, as I think about why gratitude is important and why is it good to be grateful. There's so many people around you that you may miss that may be a blessing, supporters. So many of you, my podcast, I'm still growing it. And so many of you have messaged me or said, "Oh, this episode was such a blessing," or "it really helped me." And those little things keep us going. So it's so important to, first acknowledge the people that, be grateful for the people that are around you, who do cheer you on. Don't just focus on those who don't, focus on those who do. Say a thank you, show kindness, support each other. I think that's a big thing too. When you're in a state of gratefulness, like the definition said, the readiness, to show appreciation. How are you, um, you know what's the word I'm looking for? How are you nurturing, yes, those relationships with people who show you support? Do you show them support? Do you show up at their events? Do you thank them? Do you say kind words? I think when you stay in that space of constantly looking at gratitude as a circle, right? Because like as people give it to you, give it back. It starts to become a part of you in your daily language, your daily life, that you will that you continue on to live by. And I love that. For me, I'm so grateful for the circle of people around me. But I'm so grateful even for those little ones, my children, because they keep me going. They are always my cheerleaders. They're like, "Yay, push strategists," like they're always like cheering me on, and they're like, they know my podcast intro, so when I'm doing it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, the push strategist," and you just those little things matter so much, because kids are so honest. So if they're excited, you're moving in the right direction. So always ask the kid, but to be honest, it's just I try to look around and say, "Oh, I'm grateful even for those little ones who really make a difference in my life, and those people who." Support. And I would say, it's even I'm even grateful for the not so good things, like the critics, because it allows you to continue to know that you just got to push forward. And if people are taking time to think about you and focus on what you're not doing right, that means that, hey, there's something you are doing right, because they're taking time to actually have you on their mind. And I don't know about you all, but for me, I am extremely like have so many things that I am working on that are great things, that sometimes, you guys, I don't even have time to like do some of the things that would even give me space to be a critic. And I think that's a good thing. Like, I pop on social media, I pop on just to look for things to celebrate with people. Like, literally, that's what I do. When I pop on, I either am scrolling through to see what's going on new that I can celebrate in somebody's life, write a beautiful note of, "Oh my gosh, congrats," or "So happy for you," or "Go girl," or "You doing it," whatever it is. I just like quickly get on so I can try to keep up with people. Or, things come up like news stuff, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what's this world coming to? Help us, Lord." But but in any event, I like, if you are occupied with your time, and your purpose, and building that career, building that business, building that family, building that mindset, you don't even have time to be a critic. And you'll be so grateful for everything good. You'll be drawn to the good things. I'm literally drawn to the good things. Like, I thank God that my lens and my perception are drawn to the good things, because I don't even have time for the negative unless somebody intentionally brings up something negative. Like, just this weekend, somebody sent me a message that was somewhat negative, and I just, put LOL. And then I wrote back, I was like, "No, I don't feel comfortable putting LOL, because I'm agreeing with that negative, mentality. So I went back and I wrote, something like, hey, let's not, look at it from this lens. Look at it from this lens. And I left it at that because what you agree with becomes also part of you. So I try to be intentional. Life, yes, there's going to be things that people do, or things that happen that are negative, and we can't like pretend, right? Like, yes, that's not a good thing. They should have made a better choice, or this company should have did it this way, or whatever. But we don't harp and like judge people or judge situations, because you know what, in this life, we don't have time to, be critics or haters when you're trying to build your own empire. Okay. So I know all of you listening here today are empire builders, because you wouldn't take the time to find resources to help encourage and inspire you and push you. So I know this isn't for you all, but it's something to keep in mind as you are like, oh, why do I always deal with this? No, be grateful even for that, because it allows you to say, man, I'm happy that my lens and my perception is turned towards the positive. Okay. And don't let those critics get you. And the other thing is that I'm also grateful for is closed doors, because sometimes we're like, man, I really want to do this opportunity. Why didn't it work out? And man, if I can write down how many times I've said that, and I've looked back and like, oh my God, thank goodness that didn't work out. Actually, my prayer, honestly, to you, that I say now to God is, Lord, close any doors that do not need to be opened, that are not in your perfect plan for my life, your perfect will, because I don't even want the door to be open. Just shut it. Even if I'm crying, like, why is this door not opening? Why is this not doing this? What? Close it. Okay, Lord. I'm like, I don't even want no part of it. So I am grateful also for closed doors. It helps us stay, have humility, or continue to walk in humility. Like, hey, you know what? This isn't working out, but it's okay. I know I'm still good. I know the right time is going to come. And those things also allow us to, as you're humble and you're able to, look at others, and also celebrate them. Those closed doors allow you to really just look at life from a different perspective, and not get too, haughty and think like, oh, I got this, because we are all on a journey to purpose and learning and growing. And sometimes some things need to be closed to keep us in that place of humility, or it's just not the right timing or season. You don't want to blow a great opportunity because you weren't ready, right? So I am telling you, be grateful also for closed doors. Now, there's some doors that are closed that are because people are in places that want to keep those out. I know I work a lot with, systemic racism and things that I'm hoping to push my career candidates through doors to get them into more leadership roles. Those are doors that we want to keep pushing on and saying, no, we're not going to settle for second best. So there are doors that you do want to keep pushing and strategically pushing and infiltrate the system. But for now, I would say just continue to be content with those doors that aren't in those situations. So the next thing is, how do you stay in a place of gratitude? Because, like I said, life situation happens, and you're like, hey, where am I? Like, how do I go from here? I'm not feeling grateful. I feel like this situation let me down. I feel like I'm not seeing what I know where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do. Look back is the one thing I would say to stay in a place of gratitude. Look back and remember where you were, because all of us have come from somewhere. Some of us has come from somewhere tough. We came from tough upbringings. We came from tough situations. There were no handouts. We had to push forward. Look back, and that will keep you in a place of gratitude for sure. The other thing I would say is journal. If you don't journal, you don't write down like pillar moments, or times you're going through something, you're missing out, because when you look back, you're like, wow, look at where I was. I have this little box. Actually, y'all, I got it from Dollar Tree. Okay, it's like a little box that has like a scripture and little notes on there. So I use that every time I write down, things that I'm asking God for or that I'm thankful for that He did, or I write in advance, thank you for doing this. I'm standing on this. And when I look back at those notes, I just am so grateful because I'm like, wow, I forgot about this. Remember when I was here? And then your circle will also remind you when you're going through those situations. Because again, we all get there where we feel like, oh, why? But your circle, if you surround yourself with the right people, they'll look back for you and say, girl, you remember when? Or boy, you remember when? Now look at you. So stay in that place of gratitude. Life is so much better and sweeter when we're thankful, when we show appreciation and we have that readiness, and when we're ready to return kindness to others despite our situation. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Push Talk Podcast. Again, if you have any questions, you want to hear some episodes or topics to be covered, reach out to us. Let us know. Please share this, like, subscribe, rate us on this podcast, please, please, please. And we look forward to continuing to provide you great material that will push you towards your purpose and business, career, and beyond. Thank you for joining. Peace.